Hello friends, so today in this video we will discuss about Python list. Python list. So we will discuss the topic Python list in this video. So we all know that list is a data structure in a Python. Lists store multiple items in a single variable, right? So list, just like arrays, it stores multiple items in a single variable, right? Normally we can assign one value into the in one variable we can assign one value, but using list we can assign in a one variable into multiple items. Second points, in lists can store different data types. So while array cannot, while array cannot store, right? Array cannot store. Suppose we write like this, can't store. So in C programming, array stores also a collection of items into a single variable, but array stores a homogeneous, the same data type of items you can store in array. What in list you can store different data types into a single variable, right? And lists are mutable. That means you can list can be changed. Lists can be changed. Lists are mutable means list can be changed, right? So you can change the items of the list after creating. If you create the list, then you can change the items in the list. So lists are mutable or changeable, right? And lists allow duplicate values. So list allow duplicate value. You can insert duplicate items in the list, so it accept the duplicate values, duplicate items in list. And list insertion order is maintained. That means insertion order is maintained. In which order you will insert the items in the list, the same order will be maintained in the output. So if you insert the item at index 1 position, then it will always remain at the index 1 position. It will not change their index position, right? If you run the multiple times, the index position of item will not be changed, it will be remain same, so it will not change if you run the multiple times the program. And lists are represented using square brackets like this, and values are separated values are separated using comma. So basically a list can be represented using square bracket. We use the square bracket in list, and value are separated using comma like this. So we can create a square bracket used in creating a list, and this value are separated using comma, this one. This comma, right? So value, we will separate the value using comma, and the items are written within the square brackets. So these are the some basic points about the Python list. Now let us see create a list. Create a list. So let us see how to create a list. How we can create a list? Suppose we take my list, and we will use the square brackets. We can take 10, integer value, we can take string value, India, we can take negative value, we can take float value, we can take boolean value, or we can take duplicate values. So we have taken the value items 10 3 times, and duplicate values. India is a string, -50 is a negative value, 30.22 is float value, true is a boolean value. So if you want to print this, my list, so now we will print this list and see what the output. Run this. So output must be 10. So now see, you can see the output is 10, comma, values are items are separated using comma, and the items are written within the square brackets. Or you can see the 10 is 3 times in the output, so that means it allows the duplicate values, and it takes a multiple data type. We use the boolean data type, string, integer, float, so it is accepting all the data types. So -50, 30 point float value, true is a boolean value, India is a string value, or 10 is duplicate, it is accepting duplicate values, it is accepting different data types. Or if you again run this same program, now you can see one thing, we insert the India is a second at one index position. The India is constantly remaining at one position. If you run it multiple times, the position will not be changed. That means insertion order is preserved always, right? So if you run multiple times, then the position of the India will not change, it will be same. So that means insertion order is always maintained or preserved. It is allowed duplicate values, okay, and it is accepting different data types. And now multiple items we can insert in a single value, that is mylist a variable, and we are using the square brackets, a value we can separate using comma, right? One more thing, lists are mutable, that is list can be changed. Yes, we can change the list by using the index, because it is also index, because in insertion order is preserved, that means index is maintained. So one more thing, if you want to know this is a really a list or not, if you want to confirm or check is it a really a list or not, then how can you use, we can use the type function. Using type function you can check that it is list or not. And type or the mylist, type then mylist, right? So using this type function using this type function we can check the data type of this variable mylist. This variable mylist we can check the data type, is it a list or not. So this type function will explain you the this is a list or not. So run this. Now you can see that, the class is a list, that means it is a list data structure. This is a list data structure, right? Also by using type function we can find out it is a list or not. Right, so this is that you can see the usage of a type function. Type function will tell you this is your list or not, so it will explain you. Using type function you can find out, right? And one more thing, by using a list constructor, by using this list constructor, by using this list constructor you can create you can also create a list by using this list constructor. So let us see, we take a Mylist, I use the list constructor and then the parenthesis. So this is the same list then parenthesis. This is the format in which we again use the one more parenthesis, and we will pass these items, all these items we will pass here. So if you will have to use one more parenthesis, you will have to pass these items, okay. So this is the list constructor, and we use the double parenthesis. In double parenthesis we pass the items. This is the items, right? And now we print our list, that is my list. We print our list, my list. Run this. So this is our output, right? If we comment this, suppose if we comment this, now run this, you can see the output. Why? We can, using the list constructor, we can also create a list. So these are the same items in the previous list. So we can see here insertion is also preserved here, right? India is not changing their position. India is not changing their position. It is continuing maintaining their position, and it is also allowing the duplicate values and different data types. It is also written within the square brackets, and it is items are separated using comma, right? And it is a boolean value, it is a float value, it is a negative value, it is a string value, and this is an integer value. So it is maintained. Actually insertion order is maintained, duplicate values allowed, items are written using separated using comma, and items are written within the square brackets. So again we want to check, so we can check by using the print type function. We use here type function, print type my list. So this type function here we also use this type function. So this type function will explain you the type. We are using this type function. It will explain you the data type of this list. So it will tell you that it is really a list or not. So it will confirm. Run. So you can see the class is a class. The class is list. The class is list. So it is confirmed. This is a list data structure of Python. So by using this type function we can verify this is your list or not, right? You can verify by using this type function. right? So now see, now how to access. Now see, access items in list. Now we will see the access item in a list. How we can access item in a list, so we will see, right? So how we can access the items in the list. And now if we comment this, right, and we take, suppose we use this list, right? So we are using this list. Now here we want to access items in a list. How we can access? Suppose, so we know that actually in array start from the 0 index, 0 1 2 3 and so on. So it is also start with the 0 index, so it is presented 0 index, it is presented 1 index, it is presenting it 2 index, it is 3, it is 4, 5 and 6. So this list start with 0 index, 1 index, 2 index, 3 index, 4 index, 5 index, 6 index. So if we want to suppose access this item India, if we want to access this item India, how we can access? How we can access this item India? We can access this item by using index position of the India. So in the square bracket we will use index position of India is 1, so we will provide here the 1. After providing 1, it can give you the result as India. Run. Now the result is India. So now if we want to access this item true, so what is the index position of this item? 0 1 2 3 4. So index position of this item is 4, 0 1 2 3 4. So at this is present at 4 position, we provide here 4. So if we provide here is 4, it will give the output is as a true. It will give the output as true India, true. So you can see the output. The output is true. So now this is the same. This value and this value is same. So if you want to access this value, what is the index position of this item? 0 1 2 0 1 2 3 4 5 6. So it will give the 6. So it will give the output 10. So in this way, so this is your list variable, and we are using in the square brackets. We can provide the index position of the item. So this is your, in this list we can provide the index position of the item to access. So by using the index, we can access the items in the list. So this is one way, right? Now using negative is using, here we are using indexing, simply indexing. Now we will use negative. Now we will use negative indexing to access this list. Now we will use the same list we will access the same list using the negative indexing. We will comment this. So in negative indexing, negative indexing always start from -1, -2, -3, -4, right? So it is negative indexing start from the end to from the end. So this, the position of this item in negative indexing would be -1, this a -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, -7. Here in indexing starts from 0, 1, 2 and so on, right? Like this. Here negative indexing starts from -1, -2, up to so on. So indexing is here, indexing start from 0, 1, 2. Here negative indexing start from -1, -2 and -3 up to so on. It will also always start from the end, begin from here. Negative indexing this items from here, negative indexing will start. The position of this item is -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, -7. So if you want to access this item true, what is the in negative index value of this item? That would be a -1, -1, -2, -3. So the negative index value of this item is -3. So you will provide here is a, in the square bracket, you will provide a -3 and it will print the true. It will print true. It will print true as the output. Run. So true is the output. So if you want to access this item India using negative indexing, so the position of this item is -1, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6. So -6 is the position of this item. So provide -6. So -6. So run, output should be India. output is India. We can also use, suppose here we can also use single. We in Python we can also write string in a single quote. If we write Delhi, or we want to access the Delhi, here we are writing in the single quote. So we in Python we can also write a string in double quotes or in single quote. So if you want to access this Delhi, so you will have to provide -1. So you will get the result is Delhi. So Delhi is printed. So there is no issues if you use a double quote or a single quote. In both the cases there is no issue. In both cases there is no issue. Either you can use a double quotes or you can use a single quotes, right? Suppose if you want to access this item -50, so what is the index position, negative index position of this item? -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. So -5 is the position of this item. So run. Now you can see the result is -50. So that is -50. So negative indexing always start from -1, -2 and so on. It always start from end. Then normal indexing or positive indexing, you can say it will start from 0, 1, 2 and 3 and so onward. So why using in this way, why using negative indexing, we can in this way by using negative indexing we can access the items in the list, right? Now we will see slicing in list. Slicing in lists. Slicing a range of index each range of indexes is provided, right? So range of indexes is given or provided, you can say in slicing. Slice, but suppose you want to slide from one end to another, so you will give the start index, you will have to and the end index. In slicing, range of index is provided, that is that is uh, that is that is 1 minute, 1 minute. Okay, that is start index and end index. So you will have to mention the start index and end index in slicing. Slicing means slide something. So we will provide here the range of indexes, that is start index and end index. So we use the same list, copy, comment this list. So right? So that is the same list we will use. In this list we will use the slicing. We will provide the start index, we will provide the end index. If we provide the start index is 1, then colon, and provide the end index is 4. So here 1 is start index, 4 is end index, and separated by comma, written in square brackets. So it will behave like a normal indexing, 0 1 2 3. It will behave like 0 1 2 3 onwards. So the index position of 1 is, that is 0 1. So index position of India is 1. So 0 0 1 2 3 4. So according to this 1 to 4, the output should be India -50, and this 30.22, and this true. These 4 items should be printed according to this slicing 1 2 3 4. But in slicing and slicing, एंड इंडेक्स होता है ऑलवेज -1, एंड इंडेक्स -1. So it will run from second last index position of the last index. This index, actually this is the, so it will run from 1 2 and 3. So it will only print these 3, not this true. But according to this slicing it should be printed, but Python run up to the second last index of the item. That's why we have written here end index -1. So end index ये run करेगा, it will run up to the end index -1. So it will print 1 1 2 3. It will not print this 4. So this 4 will be excluded. So if you run this, after run you can check. So output is India -50 at 30.22, but at the index 4 not printed. That is, this is 0 1 0 1 2 3 4. So this is at 4 position. This is not printed because it always run 4 -1. It will run up to the 4 -1. Here that you can say it 4 -1. Now you can say that it will not print the output of the at index 4. It will always run from 1 to 3, not 1 to 4. So end index -1 up to it executed. Here we written 1 to 4, but it will run from 1 to 3, not 1 to 4. So 4 position the item would be, it will be excluded. Okay, now again change this. If we provide 0 and here provide 3, so according to this range, start index 0, that is 10, and index 3, and index 3 0 1 2 3. So this is at index 3. This is at index 3. So it will run from 0 1 and 2. It will run from 0 1 2. It will run from 0 to 2, not 0 to 3. It excluded last index. It run up to the second last index. So it will print the output 10 India and 50. So these three items will be printed. It will execute the item value at index 3. Run. So 10 India minus 50. 10 India minus 50 is printed. It excludes the last index value, that is 30.22. So in Python, last index is not considered. So last index is excluded. It is runs up to the second last. Yeah, suppose if we write here last index is not considered in output, right? So last index is not considered, and it runs up to the second last index, second last end index, right? So last index not considered in output, it runs up to the second last end index. Okay, now so suppose if we say this is example 1, suppose if we say this is example, suppose initializing this is example 1, if we say now we take example 2. Suppose in the same list we comment this list, right? Now if we take the same list and here if we what we are doing here, leave and index, here we are providing start index and end index, here we are providing both. You can say these two we are providing here, start index and end index. Here we are leave end index, so we will not considering here the end index. In this case what will happen? So if we suppose if we provide is 2 as the start index is 2 and we do not provide the end index, so if you do not provide the end index, then it will, in this case it will run, it will run up to the end of the list. In this case it will run up to the end of the list, so it will run from 2 to end of the list this item. So this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, so it will run -50 to this. So here to -50 to this, it will be the output. If you do not provide this here, the leave and end index, if you do not mention the end index, then it will run from here to here. Run. So you can see the result is -50 to this Delhi, up to the end of the list it given in the output. If you do not, if you provide 0, then it will print from 0 to this one. You can check from 0 to this one. 0 complete list it has. So if you provide 1, then it will print from India to, this is 0, this is 1, so from India to Delhi, complete from India to Delhi it will print. From India to Delhi it has printed. And if you provide 4, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, so from 4, 5, 6, from 4 to end of the list it will print. So the result would be true 10 Delhi. The result is true. Result is true 10 Delhi, right? Okay. Now, okay, we copy this and we also copy this one, and we are comment this. Comment this one, right? So now we will leave start index. Now we will leave start index. So you can see this is example 3. Leave start index. It will run, it will assume, it will run, you can say it will run from start. It will run from start, or you can say it will you can say it will assume 0 index, right? So suppose in this list if you do not provide the 5, right? Suppose in this list there is same list here, we are not providing the start index. We do not provide the start index. In this case it will assume 0 as index, and print from start, print from leave it as, okay, you can see that you can understand this. So we are providing as index, add index 5, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so this is 5 and this is 0, So if you here we are not declaring the start index, so it will assume 0 as the start index, 0 as it will assume 0 as a start index. It will assume 0 as a start index, so it will start from 0 to up to 4, and index is always excluded, right? So it will run from 0 0 1 2 3 4 5 will be this one is excluded, so this would be your result. So here we are not giving the start index, so it will assume 0 as the start index. So 0 0 1 2 3 4, so these values will be printed. Run. So output is 10 India 50 now up to so 10 is not printed because the index value 10 is 5. The index value is 10 is 5 0 1 2 3 4 5. The index position of 10 is 5, but 10 is not printed because end index always excluded. The output would be, so it will be excluded, it will not be considered in the output, so it will only print the output values 10 India minus 50 0 1 2. So these three value will be in the output. Run. 10 India minus 50 in the output, so these three value will be in the output, these three, right? Now if you uh, 0 1 2 3 4 5 6, so if you provide 6, then output from it would be 10 to 10. This would be your output. Run. You can see this is your output. So this is your output. It is excluding the index value at 6. So the L is excluded, right? Now here suppose one more example, let me see. Let me comment this. Suppose leave start index and end index. It will print the complete list. In this case it will print the complete list. Suppose this is your list, Mylist is a variable name. We are not giving start index, we are not giving end index, we are just here we are using colon only, we are not giving in square bracket, we are only using the colon. We are not providing start index, we are not providing end index. So in this case what will be the output? In this case it will assume 0 as the start index and end index. If you do not mention the end index, then it run up to the end of the string, end of the list. So if you do not mention the start index, then it assumes 0 as the start index. If you do not mention the end index, then it run up to the end of the list. So this, in this case, it will give this complete list items. Run. So you can see this is your complete list. Your complete list is printed. If you do not mention your start index, if you do not mention end index, you are only using the square bracket, only you are using colon, then it will complete list will be printed. Okay. Now, so we have seen access item using indexing, using negative indexing, and we are using the slicing. Now we will see one more thing. Comment this, comment. Suppose we consider it as a example 5. Now what we will do, why using negative indexing, negative indexes, slicing using negative indexing. So we will see how it will work. Here we will do the slicing using negative indexing. So this is your list. Here we will use our negative indexing. We all know that negative indexing starts from -1, -2, -3, -4. So this Delhi is -1, this -2, this -3, -4, -5, -6, -7. So we will use here the negative indexing. We will do the slicing by using negative indexing. Now see, B start index is -5 and end index is -4. End index, suppose we use -2. So end index is so in negative this is -1, this is -1, this is -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, -7. So this is -5 start index, -1, -2, -3, -4. So this is -5 and end index is -2, -1, -2. So this is -2. According to this is your this should be your output, but it will run up to this would be your output. It will not print the end index value. Python end index value is not considered in the output, so it will print the output minus up to these 3. So these 3 will be your output. Run. -50, 30 point and true. So these 3 your output. -2 is excluded, not considered. So if you provide is suppose -1, if you provide -1, then what would be the output? And he will provide suppose -7 suppose. So what should be the output? -1 is this one, -1 this is your end index, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, -7. So it will run up to this 10. -1 will not be printed considering the output. So this would be your this should be your output from this 10 to this 10. -7, -6, -5, -4, -3, -2, but not -1. so -1 will be excluded. Run. So you can see this 10 to this 10 is the output. The LE is not considered in the output. The LE is not in the output. So -1 is excluded. Slicing. Suppose if we do this thing like we provide minus start index is minus uh, 3, start index -3, end index is -5, -3, -1, -2, -3. So this is your -3 and this is your -5. So end index is this one and start index is this one, end index is this one. So it will run or not. Now run. It will give empty because start index is -3, -1, -2, -3. So this is your start index. So it will run from left to right. So it will not run from right to left. It will run from left. Slicing is done from left to right, not from right to left. So that's why it is giving the 0. If you will give 1, then it will give the output -1, -2, -3. So this is -3, this is -1, -1 will be excluded. So this would be your output. True or 10 the would be your output, right? So slicing, you can say one more thing, you can note down. Slicing runs from left to right direction, right? Not right to left. Slicing runs from left to right direction, right? So it will always run from left to start to end, or you can say from start to end. From start to end, you can say like this. Okay, so this is slicing using a negative indexing. Okay, now one more example we take. Suppose this is your example 6. Slicing. What we will do here, we will do one thing. We will leave start index. Suppose if we do not give the start index, what will happen? You know that it will assume 0 as the start index in this case. So it will run from 10 to 10. So the -1 is will not be in the output. So the output should be this one. This should be your output in this case. If you do not mention the start index, then it will assume 0 and end index will be excluded. So up to it will run up to the second last. So I think this should be your output, this one. So suppose comment now run. Now you can see 10 to 10 is the output, right? So if we do not mention the here the start index, then it will assume as a 0. From 0, this one is at 0 position, so from 0 to 10 it will not, it will exclude the -1. So it will 0 to 10, it will run from 0 to 10, it will execute. If you write suppose if you -3, so this is -1, -2, -3, so this item has -3 index, so it will run -1, -2, -3, so it will run only 10 up to this. -3 will be excluded, so it will run from 10 to this one. Run. So you can see the output 10 India -50, and this is 30.22. Okay, so if you do not mention here we are learning, we do not provide the start index. Now take another example. Suppose this is example 7. Leave end index be here, leave end index, let us comment it. And if we suppose do not mention the we mention the start index is 1 in this list. This is your list, this one is your list. In this list we are providing the -1 as the start index, but we are not providing the end index. We know that if we do not provide the end index, then it run from up to the end of the string. Suppose firstly provide -3, so this is -1, -2, -3, this is a -3, -1, -2, -3, this is -3 as a start index, but end index we have not provided. Now run this, run, see the output true 10 Delhi. If you do not provide the end index, we know that it will run up to the end of the end of the list. So end of the list is Delhi, last item is Delhi, or start index is -3. Start index is always considered in the output, but end index is not considered, we know that. So it will print in the output true 10 Delhi, -3. If we use here -6, -10, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, so from this to this one up to the end of the list, this should be your output. In this case this should be your output. You can see India to Delhi, this is your output, right? So this is your output. If you provide -7, then it will provide a complete, it will give you the complete list. This is your complete list. Why giving the -7, right? So this is the leave end index, leave start index, or here we provide the slicing, negative index use slicing. So -3, -7, right? Now see, this is the way to access the items in the list. This using normal indexing, using slicing using negative indexing, right? Okay, now we will learn comment we will learn change items in lists. Change item in list. How we can change item in list? So suppose we take this is your list, comment it out. How we can change the item in the list? So this is your list, same list we have taken. Suppose this is your list, this is your list. Now we want to change items. So we want to change items in this list. How we can change items in this list? So we know that insertion order is present. That means this item position 0 1 2 3. So by using index, we can change the position of the item. By using index, right? By using index we can change the position of the item. So this Mylist square brackets. Suppose we want to change India to USA. We want to change India to USA. We will provide the index position of India. So what is the index position of India? That is 1. This is 0. This is 1. So give here 1 and assign the new value, right? Assign the new value. We provide USA as the new value. Right, and now here we are just printing our list. We are printing our list. If you run this, now run, you can see output 10. India is replaced by the USA. Now in here India is there in the list. India is present in the list here, but here India is not present. The USA is present. So we learn that lists are mutable or changeable. Means yes, you can see that yes, we can change the items in the list by using index. We can change the items in the list. Here we can see India is changed to USA. Now India you can change to, suppose you change to France, right? So run. Now you can see India changed to France. So India changed to France. So in this way you can change the items. Suppose one more item we want to change. Suppose we want to change this item 0 1 2 3 4 5 6. So provide 6 here and change Delhi to France capital Paris. France capital Paris. So now run this. So you can see this France is changed to Paris, this change Delhi changed to Paris, here India changed to France, right? And suppose you want to change suppose want to change this done true to false, so 0 1 2 3 4, the index position this item is 4 4, change to false. Now run. See, this true, it changed to false, right? So in this way, by using the index position of the item, you can change the items in the list. You can change the items in the list, right? Okay, now we see one more thing. Okay, now we see the next topic, that is iteration in list. So now we see the iteration in the list. Suppose we take this is your list, we take same list, comment this, now this is your list, Mylist a variable, so this is your list. Now what we want to do here, iteration in a list, iteration in list. So we will see here the how we can do the iteration in the list, So using for loop, we will use the for loop here. What we will use the using for loop we can do this thing, for I in my list column. I is a simple a variable, for we are using here the for loop. In is the keyword, I is the variable, my list is the list variable, and 4 is the loop, and then colon. So this is the way to write a for loop in Python. This is the standard structure to write for loop in Python. For I in my list, for I is a variable, you can take any variable, then in keyword, then my list, then colon, then use print. We will provide here is I. Okay, so here we are learning iteration in a list. For iteration we will use the for loop. This is your list, we will use this for loop, for I in my list, colon, print I, right? So run. You can see 10 complete list items is printed, 10 to Delhi. You can see here 10 India. So complete list items presented using this for loop. So this is we called iteration in a list. Iteration in a list. In this way, this is called iteration in a list, right? We can take any variable, like if you take x, right? Suppose we will provide here, then you will provide here to x. Run. If you run this, the same output is here, right? So this variable can be anything. If you, and this list should be this list, this name should be same, and then colon. If you remove this colon, then it will give error. If you remove this colon, then it will give syntax error. So you cannot remove this colon, or this list name should be the same, right? And this in keyword should be, right? So this is the iteration in a list. Now next thing we see, now repetition in a list. Repetition in list. Now we will learn repetition in a list. Suppose comment here and copy this list, copy and comment. So we take this list, right, and we want to see the repetition, how we can repeat the list, how we can do the repetition in a list. So it is, let us see, print Mylist. You will using, how you can do this, using multiplication, using multiplication, that is star, right? So you can do this thing. So here we will use the multiplication star. If we want to repeat this list into 2 times, if we want to double this list items to 2 times, so we will mylist into, using multiplication star into 2, run. You can see it is, right? You can see there, you can see 10, this is one list and this is another list, right? So 2 times we can repeat in this way, we can repeat. Okay, so by using multiplication, so in this way we can do the repetition. Okay, now suppose we do the copy and now comment this. Now do the membership in list, using, here we'll use the using if and in keyword, we will use if. Here we are using multiplication and he will use if and in keyword. So if membership means we can check particular item is available in the list or not. Membership means that means member is the s- suppose that is member of the list or not. We will verify. Okay, so just check the verification, it is particular item is present in the list or not, that is membership. Suppose if we want to verify Delhi, if we want to verify Delhi, Delhi in my list colon, if it present then print yes. So what we are doing here, we want to do the membership in list. Membership means we want to verify is some particular item is present in the list or not, right? Is particular item is available in the list or not. This is our list. So if some particular item is available in the, suppose we actually verifying, we are verifying the Delhi, this Delhi is available in this list or not. We can see it is present, but we will verify using this if and in keyword. If and in by using if and in keyword use, we can check is Delhi present in this list or not. If it is present, then print yes. If it is present, then print yes. If it is not present, then it will not give any output. Now run. So yes, you can see, yes. So Delhi, we know, we also we can see that Delhi is present in this list, so that's why it is yes. If we provide here, suppose true, suppose if we provide true, we want to verify, is true is present in this list, we can see it is present, the result should be yes, right? So what the result should be in this case, that result should be yes. The result is yes, you can see the result is yes, right? And suppose one more thing, if you write like this, if you use like true like this, if you here it is a uppercase letter you will use, then what will happen in this case, it will give error, right? Name is not defined, so you will have to use the proper T, right? Python is a case sensitive language, we all know that, right? So it will give the error if you do not maintain the case letters, right? Now if we want to verify this -50 is available or not, then -50, then run. Yes, it is present, right? And suppose 100, we want to verify this 100 is present in the list. We can see this 100 is not present in the list at present. 100 is not available in this list at present. What we want to verify is 100 is present in the my list. So if 100 in my list, then print yes, right? So we are actually want to confirm. So run. So it will not give any output. You can see it is not giving any output, right? It will not giving any output. If we use like else here, if we use else here, then print, then it will go, then it will give the no. Now it will give the no answer, no as the answer, right? Then it is give the no as the output, right? So 100, we know, we can see that the 100 is not present in this list. 100 is not present in this list, so that's why it will give the no answer. Or suppose uh, minus 50 we provide, we can see minus 50 is available in this list. Minus 50 is available in this list, then it will give the result yes. Right, run. Yes, it is present. Yes, right. So, and if we provide like in here, suppose Mumbai. If we want to verify is Mumbai is present in this list or not, we can see. We can see also Mumbai is not is available in this list, but we want to check is Mumbai present in this list. If Mumbai in my list, print yes, else no, else print no. Right. So if Mumbai अगर present रहेगा इसमें, if Mumbai it will present in this list, then it will print yes. Otherwise else condition will be executed and this will print no. Run. The answer is no. We can see Mumbai is not available in this list. Right. Suppose one more thing, if you want to do, suppose we write in double quotes Delhi. Here the Delhi is present in the single quotes, and we want to we are giving the double quotes. In double quotes we want to check this is present or not, then run. What should be the output? The result is yes. So it doesn't matter if you write the double quotes or single quotes, it will check the in the string, it will check. It doesn't matter you will write the string code double quotes or single quote. Here is a single quote, here it is a double quote, but it is not bothering you are using single or double. It is checking the string, each string is available in this list, so yes, it is available. Right. Suppose if you do not provide nothing, then it will give the error. Right. If you provide suppose 10, then 10 we can see that 10 is present in the list easily. We can see 10 is present in the list. The answer is yes. Right. Now one more important concept we will see. Please copy this list again, copy comment. Now we will see length of a list. Now we will find the length of a list. What we will do here, this is your list. What we will do here, so here we will learn length of a, find out the length of a list. This is your list, same list, this is your list. How we will use here, using len function, using len function, we will use this function len to find out the length of this list. Right. Now print, we will use this len function. This len function we will use len and provide the which list name. So this is your list. Right. So what we are learning here, the find out the length of a list. This is your list, this is your list. So this is your list. It will give the number of items in the list, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. We know that 7 items available in the list, so it will give the number of how many items is available in this list. That is the use of length of a list. Len function, it will just provide the number of items in the list, how many items is available in the list. It will let you know, it will आपको क्या बताएगा, how many items are available in the list. ये आपको क्या बताएगा कि कितने आपके आइटम्स, ये आपको बताएगा हाउ मेनी आइटम्स आर अवेलेबल इन द लिस्ट, ये आपको ये बताएगा ये लेन फंक्शन. ठीक है, तो हियर वी आर यूजिंग लेन फंक्शन. इट विल प्रोवाइडिंग द माई लिस्ट नेम in the parenthesis, right? In parenthesis we are providing the, it is important. If you do not provide the name, you run, simply run, then what will happen? It will not len takes exactly one argument, right? So it will give the error in this case. That's why it is need to provide this list name. Now run this. You can see the answer is 7, right? We can see 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. We can see also the 7 items is available in this list. That's why answer is 7. Suppose if you remove this item daily, now item is 1 2 3 4 5 6. Now this item is 6. So 6 items is available in the list, right? If you add 2 more items, suppose if you add 10, one more item 10, now how many items? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Now it will give the answer is 8. The answer would be 8, right? So it doesn't bother you are using, it will also considering the duplicate items also. These are the duplicates, right? So it is consider the duplicate items also. You can say including duplicate items, right? So ये आपका जो it will also consider, it will include the duplicate items, right? So it will not consider the unique, it will complete items present in the list, it will give the number of items available in the list, right? So this is the len function, it will give you the number of items available in the list, include the duplicate items, right? So include the duplicate items, it will print in the output. So thank you. So friend, today we discussed some important topics, right? So this is the topics we have discussed today. Python list, create list constructor, access item, negating, indexing, slicing, right? And we have discussed iteration in the list, repetition, membership, and the length of list, right? From these topic onwards, from and yesterday, tomorrow we will discuss about the add items in the list. This topic from onward we will discuss from tomorrow. So we will now end the class today, right? You can subscribe if you are new to our channel, you can subscribe, you can like, comment. If you have any query, then you can comment, you can like, you can share with your friends. So thank you very much, thanks a lot.